And Sylvia here. Hey, Facebook land.
Hey everyone, got a little bit of lag. Always some lag here when we're doing Facebook Live, so please excuse me. So I'm going to watch. Hey Alexo. So happy holidays, everybody. I've got my holiday hat on. I don't know how long it'll last because it gets pretty warm. And I might have to take it off. So I thought this would be really cool for me to share some of my dog's favorite toys, some of the things that I use when I go to clients. I am limited to how much I take because I have to lug everything with me. But things I choose for a reason, and often with the dog in mind that I'm going to be working with. I thought, I know we still have some time for Christmas. You still have time for Christmas shopping. And if not, hey, there's the 12 days of Christmas afterwards. And your dogs won't know if they didn't get everything under the tree. But it's really cool to be able to watch them enjoy the different toys. And with that, you see the video behind me. So I've just got some clips of the dogs doing some stuff. And that's just a few of our things, but I'm going to turn it off very shortly. And I got to get back to my Zoom. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm back on Zoom, so it's a little less crazy for me. Anyway, so hopefully you're enjoying the bit of a montage of the videos there. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate the time that you are taking to watch this. Maybe you're watching on replay. So if you can do hashtag replay, that's great. I would love for you to share video clips or pictures of some of your dog's favorite toys. So when I look at toys, I look at them in different ways, and it might be they have their toys that they play with by themselves and each other. So the toys that I'm talking about are toys that I give them, toys that I set up for them. They might be interactive toys. They may be foraging toys, or in other words, enrichment, where they are actually working to get stuff. And I think that's really cool for them to be able to do. Dogs love doing this, and they're pretty enthusiastic. It's nice to have a big array. I know we like to get a little lackadaisical, and I admittedly will do the same thing in regards to sometimes choosing what's quick and easy, but I do mindfully think about, wow, I think I need to change this up. My dogs are usually pretty easy. There's a couple of things that they absolutely love because they're terriers. They love everything. But choosing toys is really cool to think about when we're looking at sometimes the breed that we have and thinking about what they were bred to do. You might have a crossbreed, and that's fine. In the end, all dogs are predators, so they do like to dig, chase, and they like to shred. They like to pull, they like to chew. So, with that in mind, it is cool to think about the toy that might be appropriate for your dog. I know some dogs are very destructive with toys, so you want to think about that. We can't always have big budget where our dogs are able to shred and destroy toys. So that's where you do want to think about, these are interactive or foraging toys that they work with, and then you pick them up when they're done. So the other thing too that I like to make sure owners do know and think about is, whenever you are giving your dog something new, you want to watch how they're interacting with it and make sure that they aren't going to break off pieces and perhaps swallow. Just looking how they actually interact. It's great learning for you. And the more you become aware of what your dogs do with toys and what they enjoy, will help you going forward. So I am going to, while I'm watching the video, I started thinking about stuff. So I am going to turn it off, because I think when I pick up certain items, it'll be hard to see. But I am going to have a variety of things depending on, whether you have a small dog or big dog, and hopefully I can give you some ideas. And like I say, I would love for you to share what your dogs love to do. So let me just go to no background. Yay. All right. So my favorite places to buy toys, I do a lot of Amazon shopping just because of where I live. If I know I want something and I know I'm not going to be closer to a pet store that is going to carry that, then I will order it. That's just what I do. If you live in a bigger city, you may have the luxury of being able to chasers and holy rollers. Yeah, that's cool. And I was just looking at my holy roller. So my dog, I shouldn't say that, actually. Liam loves a holy roller. I have to be careful. And but there's some really cool places. I'm going to just show you, this is a lotus ball, and I got this. Oh, now I'm gonna forget the store name. It's called Clean Run. It is actually online agility equipment, toys and such, based in the US. So it's pretty easy for you to get. It's got Velcro. You do want to be careful if you have a very sensitive dog. Velcro can be scary, so you want to think about that. And for me, this is a toy that I use with my dogs as far as fetch is concerned. So you can put a treat in between, depending on how your dog interacts with this. And because I like to use this as a fetch toy, I show my dog that I open it for them and they get a reinforcement instead of them running away and then maybe destroying. Like I say, I do think about my dogs because they're terriers, and they definitely do like to pluck and shred and pull certain toys apart depending on what they are. So this is how I use this. And this is a Lotus, and there is one that's similar. Sorry. When you think you have everything there. So I do have a couple of toys. These are from the UK. So this is a rabbit tugger. And so this, you have to think about, the fur is already falling off because it's really hard for me to, I have to really think about my dogs having this because they are terriers. So they can quickly in a split second. If I have them chasing it, if they grab it, I mean, the plucking starts so fast. It's not even funny. So those are things that you need to think about. This is another like Lotus, and this is from Tug Enough in the UK. Some of us live in the UK, so that's cute, cool. And I pretty much do the same thing with my dogs. Depends on how you want to do it. So pretty similar to this, similar but different. So I open it up for my dog. So my dog thinks I'm really cool because I can open stuff for them. And I do that with them. Hang on. Just want to get this out of the way so I can see better. There we go. There we go. Okay. So the ultimate is the Tricky Treat ball, and it does come in a couple of sizes. I usually get this one. There is one hole in it, and you can put your kibble in there, so you can easily deliver your dog's breakfast, lunch, or supper from this. And what's really cool about this, it kind of ticks a lot of boxes. Because our dogs do like to chase, they pretty much move this around. My dogs use their nose, they use their paws. Sometimes they may pick it up and move it, because I do have two dogs. They try and deliver into different areas, but if they think they're getting too close to each other, they'll pick it up, and they want to enjoy that on their own. It's really cool for all dogs, herding dogs, because they like to herd, so they're chasing a ball. Terriers love it because they are, it's like chasing prey. And I actually give this out to my clients, and there are very few dogs that don't love this. The only time that I have had a dog that doesn't interact with it is that they have, I wasn't there for this dog, I was there for another dog. So the resident dog was what I consider, they've probably been told no a lot, and their curiosity was punished. So they were really afraid to interact with this. And something that I do when I'm with a client is I will roll it around to show the dog that stuff falls out, and it doesn't take long for them to like, oh, I want to do that. So this is really cool. What's also nice is when they're rolling it away from you, they're learning to be away from you, and they're getting cool stuff here. So it ticks a lot of boxes, I think. If there's some other concepts that it touches, Alexa, maybe you want to fill that in. And if we've got, and like I say, this is great for all size dogs. I've used this from tiny to big, to shepherds, to Bernedoodles, to they all love it. So if you've got a teeny dog and you think the ball is too big for them, sometimes if the puppy is little, like I say, it does come in a couple of sizes. So this is large, there's a medium and a small. If you've got a petite and very easy dog, then you might want to look at this. It's got little ridges. This comes in different sizes. So this is a teeny one, so I would consider this for a small sized puppy, and you can stick treats in there. They roll it around. They can work at getting their food out of there. So like I say, it does come in different sizes. This I typically do for dogs that are a little more gentle mouthed and the little dogs. So this is a staple and a foundation in my house, and I do ask owners to, I usually take one of these filled. These are Topples by Westpaw, and the rubber is pretty sturdy, but it is meant for medium chewers. I never leave these on the ground, and I do suggest to my clients not to do that. So it's got ridges inside, and you just use your imagination. I might take some of their kibble and mix it in with maybe a teaspoon of Greek yogurt, or I might take some pate. Yeah, Alexo, I do have some connectable toys. I didn't show that, and I don't know if we have some UK people, I might show them, because they are a little pricey to get over here, where I am in Canada. So I did get some. Anyways, and these actually can connect into each other. I don't use it that way too often because there are holes in there and they can roll around and they can get kibble out. But usually what I do is I make whatever I put in there sticky. And if it's a dog that's new to this, I might let them lick it out and get it out really fast so they get addicted to it. And once I see they love it, then I put them in the freezer. So my dogs love this. If I pick this up, they're like, I've got their attention and they just beeline it to their beds because they want to do this. So this is, I think they just call this medium and this is large. I have many of them because if you fill a few and put them in the freezer, then you've got them ready to go. So my dogs are always watching when I get to the freezer. It's like, what is she getting, something for us or is she getting something for herself? So that's kind of cool. So from the same company, and owners are always looking for toys for the dogs to play with and chew, and that's okay. Like this is kind of a bone. I don't use them that way for myself. So this one is a smaller one and this is a bigger one, and this is from West Paw as well. What I do is I actually stick, and I think there's still a little piece in here, is I actually put bully sticks. I give my dogs bully sticks and I put them inside. So some dogs chew the bully sticks nice to the end and they chew them really gentle. So I have one dog that does that. And then I have an over the top chewer. It's almost like a race to the finish line, and he will literally take the small little piece and swallow it if I don't do this. So this way I put it in there. He doesn't swallow it. He has done it. It doesn't hurt him. But anyway, I don't like that. And it's kind of cool because they have something to hold on to too. They can use it as a toy if you like. You know, that's up to you. So this rubber one is pretty sturdy. So West Paw is the company. And actually, you know, these are made in the States. They're made in Montana or Colorado. Anyway, so it's really cool to, you know, to give these a try. And this rubber is a little bit sturdier. And so this is from the same company. I still have the packaging on because I bought two of these. This is a small and it comes in a large from the same company. So this is meant for a tougher chewer. And I'm actually gonna, I bought these for my dogs for Christmas. Not that they know it's Christmas, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill it up. So there's a hole inside and you can fill that up as well, and freeze it. So this one is a tougher rubber. So for, you know, tougher chewers. But like I say, these toys that you actually make into foraging toys, the idea is for them to work at what's in there and get it out. And like I say, I usually pick it up. If you have a multi-dog household, it's nice to give it to them separately so they don't worry about, you know, what has she got and what do I got. I try and give the same things. I have the two dogs, and you know, giving it to them separately and then picking up right away as soon as yeah, that's a good point. Alexo, great for teething puppies. So, and then I pick them up when they're done so that there's no friction afterwards for the dogs. So something that I really like for puppies, and it is a softer rubber, it might not be appropriate for certain breed of puppies. This is a Kong toy and it comes in a large size too. I have a large one, but I didn't haul everything into my office. So it's a softer rubber and you can fill this with soft stuff. You can stick cookies in there, or you know, I've got like chicken hearts, that kind of stuff, dehydrated chicken hearts. My dogs can get things out pretty easy, so I usually make it sticky and I freeze it. But this is nice for puppies or little dogs that are gentle chewers. Same with the Kong toys. Just so a lot of times I find clients don't realize that the different colors of the Kong toys do indicate how soft or hard the rubber is. So this is meant for a puppy, and you can put kibble in there and then cover it up with something soft. It doesn't always have to be peanut butter. You can use other nut butters or anything soft, and you can stick it in the freezer. So, keep in mind, pink is soft, and I think pink and blue are the soft ones. So those are meant for puppies and senior dogs that their teeth maybe aren't as strong. And then we've got the rubber, the original rubber red. Okay, there's a hole at the top, so you want to make sure that you don't completely cover this so that your dog's tongue doesn't get stuck in there, otherwise they don't want it. And it is nice to fill up part of this with just dry stuff that falls out, and then the other stuff is, the rest of it can be sticky or soft. And the Kong tool, Kong company is awesome. They support trainers a lot. If you go to their website, they have lots of ideas, with their toys. They have different shapes as well. So, and then they do have black, which is for a harder chewer. They used to have an even harder rubber, which was yellow. I don't know why they discontinued it. Maybe they didn't sell. So the black is for, for the more aggressive chewers. A lot of times people leave this down to throw and stuff. That's okay if that's what you want to do. For me, that's not the type of toy that I want it to be. I want it to be an interactive toy for the dog to be busy with stuff. I've been using this 25 more years. Kong was the first one on the scene, and they're really supportive for a trainer. So I used to have a saying, make your dog a Kongaholic. So, but we've got the Westpaw toys that are helpful with that. And I mean, this isn't really a toy, but they also have like a nice soft brush if you want to get your puppies used to being brushed a little bit. This is softer and sometimes massaging. So this is for obviously not a dog who likes to shred stuff. Okay, but there's little squirrels in here, and you can fill this up with different foods. Okay, yeah, so Alexo uses them for the ultimate search and retrieve toy, and that's fine. So I actually, I use some of one of my old Kongs I have cut up, and I actually have my dogs doing nose work with the pieces of Kong. But you can stick little things like this. I've used this for, dogs that are a little more shy, and, putting treats in here. I like to deliver lots of presents when I come, when I visit dogs, so that I'm the last one, Karen, this one. I got this off of this is from, you're gonna make me read, Hound. Purple one. Oh yeah, this is from Kong. I had a gazillion. It's a Zoom groom. I guess puppies can use this. This one is a cat. Is this a cat one? I don't know. They used to make them for cat and dog. They're the same thing. They've been around for a really long time. So, teething puppy could probably chew on this as well. It is meant as a grooming toy because it's gentler than a brush, and it's a nice way to start puppies off. And it can be massaging. So I actually have to go to the site and put in a Kong order. And you have to see, some stores carry certain things. Sometimes stores don't really know. I don't know what to say, but some stores are really knowledgeable about the toys. It just depends on where you are. So yeah, this is really cool. I actually have a client whose dog that loves to shred stuff. So all this soft stuff gets shredded, and she says, she spends a lot of money. I said, well, just recycle them. I've taken some of, when I've been there, I've just, there's just been the shell left, and I just take some of the toys and I throw treats in them, and then stick them in there, and now he's got to figure out how to pull them out of here. So this is nice, but for more gentler dogs. So okay. This is a Jolly Pet ball. It's a soccer ball. This is really, really tough. Okay, so I've had shepherds with big mouths bite into this, and it is pretty indestructible. You don't want them destroying it, but again, you can play soccer with your dog. You can teach your dog to nose this and do tray ball. So this would probably this size if you're going to do tray ball. It's a little bit heavy, but this is really cool. And this is a Jolly Pet. So it's really sturdy. I have 2 of these. So if I do like to teach my dog to give one up, and then they get another one for reinforcement, otherwise known as toy switch. But basically, sometimes dogs don't want to give up toys, and that's fine. And you can teach them to disengage from one toy and then grab the other toy. So that's pretty easy. And so this is pretty sturdy. And so it's not a chew toy, it's a play toy. And this is really cool to be interactive. Yeah, Karen, I do believe it does come in different sizes. Yeah, you want to look Jolly Pet. I think Amazon carries a lot of the Jolly Pet stuff, or if you've got a really cool pet store that might carry the different sizes. Like I say, this is pretty sturdy. Like I've had German Shepherds, bite into it, and it's not a problem. Jolly Pets. Jolly Pets. They make stuff for horses and such as well. They have sometimes handles with or handles. I can't speak. They have balls with actually handles on them too that you can throw. They have a few different ball type things, and they make them also for equine. Jolly Pet. Okay. So, and then we have these wonderful rings. So I've got 2, of course, and these are called pullers. So they do come in a small size as well. And so you can use this for fetching. You can use this for tugging if you want. The teeth marks are pretty good in here, so I would not say that. Yeah, you have to see, because I'm thinking some of these teeth marks are from my own dog. So there's lots of things that you can do. You can play toy switch with this. You can get them grabbing, playing tug of war, and then play tug of war with this one. You can throw it for fetch. Sometimes I get my dog sticking their head through for confidence, and they float too. So that's really good to know, especially if you have a water dog. I have water dogs. They have their particular toys that they love to play with in the pool. But yeah, they are really light, so they would definitely float. So that's a really good point, Alex. So, especially for those of you that have water dogs, which a lot of the gun dogs are water dogs. Okay. So this is made, but you can purchase these. It's a snuffle mat, and they come in different varieties. I actually have a couple of things that I have bought from Amazon that are pre-made. Some of us aren't crafty, but this is simply cutting up 6-inch pieces of I've got fleece or Polar Tack, and just a sink mat from the dollar store, and tying this up. And you can stick treats in here for your dogs to find them. So you can buy pre-made ones on Amazon. I have a couple. I had one of my clients. She thought this was really, really cool. She goes, "Do you make them for people?" And I said, "Well, not really. Don't have time." But so she was all happy when I came back this week, and she bought one that had all different designs in regards to where dogs could find stuff. So that was really cool. So this is nice, and this is not meant for your dog to pick up and start hauling away and grabbing at it. So this is meant for them to do something. They got to use their nose and their mouth to find. You can use their kibble or treats. My dogs love them. So my dogs are easy. I get them addicted to doing stuff right from the get-go. And of course, if you don't have a lick mat and you don't know the wonders of a lick mat, these are really cool. They do come in a small sizes. I don't know why I've got big, because I've got small dogs, so I do have to be very considerate of the calories that I use. If you have a bigger dog, I mean, you can fill this whole mat and have them licking. I've had clients that freeze them. You can use soft stuff if you want. That's easier. The whole idea is that they're licking, which is a very soothing and calming activity for dogs, and it helps calm them down. So like I say, I have clients that have actually frozen them, and the dog really enjoys that. So you want to pay attention, because some dogs don't like frozen stuff, depending on the season as well. My dogs, they're so used to it now. They love all the activities, so they don't mind frozen stuff. I don't freeze these. I'll use Greek yogurt, or sometimes I buy the organic baby food in the squeezables. I throw that on there with a couple of other things. So you can use your imagination. You can put, sweet potato or pumpkin on here. You can get some pate from the dog food company. They have nice pate in cans, so it's all soft, so you can use that as well. So you always want to test and make sure what your dog is okay to eat. And that's fine, Kathy. I'm glad you're here. So yeah, so you can get these on Amazon as well. There's many different varieties. There's bowls. I don't have my bone, but I might have a bone. I don't know. I've got so much stuff here. So there's ones with suction cups, so you can use that. You can use them for grooming. You can put them in the bathtub. So they suction up too. So these have suction on here as well. And like I say, it comes in another size. This is a package of 2. And I think it comes with a spoon as well, if you wanted to have 2. They wash up pretty nicely. I spray them down and scrub them and stick them to the side of my sink, and they dry really nicely. I think they're dishwasher safe as well. So that's really cool. Like I say, this is really nice to help calm your dogs down, because licking is very calming and soothing for dogs. So, and for your dogs, so this is so tough, I cannot get it to squeak. So this is an Orbi Tough, and it's a rubber ball, and it's really tough. You want to remember, there's no indestructible toy on this earth. If there's a dog that wants to destroy it, they will figure out a way to do it. But this is really nice if you've got a dog who likes balls. I do encourage you not to just stick to balls. You don't want to get your dog's OCD on just one type of toy. So yeah, so this is an Orbi Tough Squeak durable squeak toy from Planet Dog. And I got this off of Amazon. And it is supposed to squeak, but my hands are so weak, I can't get it to squeak. The other one, so there's a lot of this is Guff Nuts, and these are for really tough chewers. They actually have, so there's different shapes. These are on Amazon as well. So this one has a lifetime replacement guarantee. So if you've got a really tough chewer and a dog that really needs to, especially the young dogs, teething dogs, even adolescent dogs, they still have this really incessant need for chewing. This might be a good alternative. You can use this as a tug toy. It's pretty soft, so it's like, you can use this for throwing. So you can use your imagination with that. So Alexa was talking about the Holy Roller type toys, and So this one's got a handle on it, and this is from Salty Dog, which is a Canadian company, and they ship everywhere. Because I think, Alexo, you told me about this, and you're in the States. So my Liam really loves this. Emma's not really into this kind of stuff. Well, she's getting old now, but she loves anything. She loves the trick or treat ball, the stuff that really mimics the type of hunting that Cairn Terriers like to do. So this is cool. Liam really loves this. He really loves this material as well. So pay attention when your dog seems a little off put with something. Pay attention to, sometimes they don't like certain materials in their mouth. And so Alexo uses them for agility because they're easy to pick up at a speed without chin scrapes. Yeah. And this is, a nice soft, so you can you can see them. I think you can even get these if you're in the US. You can get these off of Chewy, and you can even put a handle in them. I think I've done that myself. So these are really great. They fly really great. So yeah. Okay. And so this is an Orby Tough Snoop. So you may have seen in the background one of my dogs. They love these. They can bounce around. They're really tough. You can put treats in here. It can open up as well. So it's got a different shape, but I usually have it like this. And my dogs, they love these. They paw it, it bounces around. So they super love this. And this is meant, so it's an interactive treat toy again. And yeah, my dogs really love that. So you can use it, and it floats as well. So this is really cool for that. Okay, so this is an Orby Tough Snoop. You can get this off of Amazon as well. So I have a few of these. This is a newer one. I've got 2 orange ones. Yeah, see, I've got a piece of connectable, but I don't know if I'm going to show. I use the connectables for teaching retrieve for my guys, but I'm just showing you what I like. My dogs love the stuff that I share with my clients. So this is a Jolly Pet as well, Karen, same company as that ball. So this is pretty tough too. I've actually I think I've had 2 sizes. I may have lost one, I don't know. I used to volunteer at a farm sanctuary, so this is really cool because I could hang it, and I used to give the goats and pigs and stuff different things. So you can stick things in here as well, treats, and put them in the freezer. So this one is from Jolly Pets as well, and like I say, they do come in different sizes. So this is a Kong wobbler. If you've not seen one of these, dogs really love this. This is not indestructible. So this is not a rubber. It's more hard plastic. I have seen dogs totally destroy this if they can get pretty wild with it. When I used to work at a shelter, we used to give Kongs and stuff out. And if we needed dogs that needed more, then we would make them earn all their food, but I have seen these totally destroyed. But so there's a base, you unscrew it. So the base is really, really heavy. I guess there's sand in it. So I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember the punching clowns with a sand base, but so you put the food in here and you screw it shut. And again, my dogs love this. So there's one hole, they need to knock it over. You may have seen the video in behind of one of my dogs doing it. They bat it. They push it around, they're all over the place, and they're just so focused on, following this and getting it out. So I really love this. This can be for many different dogs. Like I say, I have seen, and that, like I say, this was in a shelter setting, so sometimes you don't get treats out fast enough, because staff are busy doing things. So I have seen dogs completely destroy this. So my dogs don't, when they're empty, they're fine. They just walk away from it. But it is a good plan to get into the habit of picking up and taking it away once they're finished with this. So this and the tricky treat ball are probably my dogs. I don't know what their favorite is, but they get really into the two things because it's moving like prey. So they're very, very interested in that. So I think that is pretty much all I have. If you have little dogs that like latex toys, so these are two of the same. And I do not leave these on the ground. My dogs would like to, there's squeakers in there. But again, I use this as interactive and just teaching them to, bring me one and then let go of one. And then I throw the next one. And I have the same thing with, last year we went on the banana craze. So actually, oh, this one does squeak. Okay. Because Liam managed to find one as I was gathering all this stuff. I thought he killed the squeaker, but I'm not sure if it's this one because I have a whole bunch of bananas. So I actually hide these and get him finding. So I use this for nose work as well. Bananas are the best. My they go bananas for the bananas. So I think there was a period of time last year when Amazon was thinking, what's with all these bananas being ordered? So yeah, I don't leave these on the ground. I don't think it's a good idea to do that. And, this is for us to be interactive with our dogs. And the more we play with them, the more they're going to be willing to work for us, right? So I think that is pretty much all I have. That's my repertoire. I could probably dig out way more. But that is my collection of, and I'm past my half hour. So this is my collection of toys that I use for my dogs and that I take with me to clients. And there are thousands of toys out there. And find is whip. I do have a whip, but you gotta be really, really good at that. But yeah, I'm really glad. So there's thousands of toys and you want to find what's really good. I love toys that I can be interactive with my dogs, and that they're, like I say, they do have toys that they have on the ground that they play with. They've got some soft Kong toys. They don't usually destroy them. Every once in a while they need to shred. Dogs do need to shred, some more than others, depending on the breed. It is who they are. If you're tired of having toys shred, what you can do is if you have a dog that likes to shred, you can set things up. I save all, not all. Sometimes my husband throws them out to recycle because he forgets. But you can fill this up with stuff and your dogs can shred this. Do they shred it fast? Yeah, but they still have that satisfaction. You can make it more complicated. You could put it inside a cardboard box. So then they have to get inside that cardboard box and then get this. You can use toilet paper empty toilet paper rolls. And I have talked about that on an enrichment live. So if you go to my YouTube channel, I do have that on there. You can save packing paper, and you can make stuff. Actually, I was thinking of making, the Christmas things that you pull apart. You can do that for dogs and have them shred it. If your dogs like to shred, vegetables are expensive these days, so I was gonna say you can give them a head of lettuce. And probably still cheaper, hopefully now, than a toy, and they can shred that apart. So think about, what is legal to shred. And like I say, it is really hard if they're constantly shredding toys. We can't always be constantly buying them. We can put them into toy hospital and fix them up. But yeah, so there's a lot of things. And the scope of this was just toys and not the enrichment stuff. But like I say, I do have a YouTube channel. And I do have some enrichment stuff where I did my enrichment challenge where I just used things that I had at home. But yeah, so use your imagination. And I really appreciate you coming and spending the time here. And I wish everybody happy holidays. So my head didn't get too hot here. And it was really great having you on here. This will stay on the page. I'll pin it, as well as I usually put a link up on my Facebook page as well. So thank you, ladies, for joining us. And like I say, I love if you share different things. Share a picture or share a video of your dog enjoying a toy. I think everybody would love to see it. And the more that we see that, or see what different dogs like, it gives us more ideas that we can try. And we can put it on the Christmas list. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate Hanukkah, and happy solstice tomorrow. I think that's hitting it, but I hope you have a safe holiday season and have a peaceful one. I know a lot of people get stressed about the holiday season. We have a peaceful and quiet Christmas. We enjoy really cheesy Hallmark movies. We enjoy our dogs. We enjoy some good food, chocolate, and a little bit of Bailey's. So everybody have a safe holiday and make sure it's peaceful. If you're fretting about going out, then just don't go out. We're supposed to get, I think, a snowstorm on Friday. So we will probably end up having a white Christmas because it's not white here where I am. So take care, everybody.